Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN. Today, we are going to be looking at day 2 of a recap. Going to try and go through this one a lot faster today for the final zone in Season 3, aka Season of Strife, for the Gen 2 KvK pool, the largest Kingdom KvK pool really in the history, along with probably just having the overall total strength and being the strongest KvK pool. Also has probably the most diverse set of Kingdom strengths from low to top. And it feels like a lot of people are going to want to be trying to move over to the Gen 2 KvK pool. So again, keep in mind those skips as well if you're trying to get to a pool that's going to allow for you to have more balanced and fair matchups going forward for KvKs. All right, with the intros out of the way, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us up, because that was a lot. Okay, we are going to be starting off here in 6009. If you recall yesterday when we looked, it was pretty much still a 50-50, but we were seeing more pressure as far as territory-wise goes, but we were seeing a lot more pressure being applied onto Echo and BDO. When we check today, which is as of now, it's been about 2 days and an hour worth of time in the FZ. Let's see where they're at. So if you remember, Echo and BDO were around here. It looks like now BDO is being pressured here. BDO's there. I don't know where. Oh, wow. So Echo maybe has no... Oh, wow. So it actually looks like maybe Echo's completely gone. Oh, never mind. Hang on. They're over here on the side, on the west. Okay, because I thought I saw one of them coming up through. Oh, I see. They just abandoned that and opted to now go kind of west and then southeast for BDO where they're fighting. And then it looks like they have something. Let me see. Are they doing anything on this one? Nope. Let's see how this is going. Are they getting pressured? So BDO getting pressured currently. Looks like they're already on the destroy pass there for ROV and ROA. Yep, looks like this one's going down too as well. Okay, let's look on the west side. On the west side? So let's see what's happening here. WA, okay, looks like maybe Echo is probably still giving them a fight then. Or maybe this is just a moment where they just removed a piece of territory and who knows, maybe just the timing worked out there. And then it looks like they have something up here, but doesn't look like they're building at the moment. It looks like GG Echo are doing a fight or something around here. Oh, wow. Okay, so there's still something going on here in Zone 2. Looks like they're fighting them out. Okay. If anything, now it looks like they're basically getting pushed out of the FZ. However, if BDO and Echo still want, I imagine there's still going to be action for them to fight there in the FZ there. There's still going to be opportunities for them to fight in Zone 3s and Zone 2s if they want. And keeping in mind that their whole mission really in this 2v4 was to get as much PvP as humanly possible out of the KvK as a whole, I mean, I would say that mission has been accomplished and is still being accomplished. However, at least when it came to them, and again, I'm not sure what their aspirations were in the beginning. Like, did they full out feel like, okay, hey, our main goal was like, yeah, we're going to absolutely crush you guys 2v4? Or was it, hey, no, we just want to get as much PvP out of it as we can? And if we win, fantastic. If not, right, we at least got everyone. And again, kind of setting up appropriate expectations. I don't know what they said beyond only what I had heard and what was being touted publicly, which was we did the matchup because we wanted to get the most PvP out of the kingdom, out of the KvK. So I guess in that sense, maybe it's like a win-win for everyone, right? Which is like it's a win for the 4 kingdoms because the other 4, because they're able to still get a lot of PvP. Still feel like they had a fulfilling KvK, even if it may not have been the most fulfilling compared to if we did a 3v3 balanced, and we probably could have had longer PvP than just the 2 days or day and a half or so that lasted in the FZ. But okay, well, that's where we're at. So let's move on. I totally said I was going to have these be quicker, and I need to really make sure these go faster now. Okay, now we're going into 6010. Again, matchup here, right? WB, TFS, SSG, EIL, NTS, A2G. It was 50-50. It was a stalemate yesterday, and it looks like maybe issuing for the most part, it looks like it's pretty much stayed that way. SSG was over here, so no one has really pushed one way or another. Keep in mind, passes here have been open for 2 days and about 3 hours now. Again, they're still going at it. This is phenomenal. I mean, if anything, depending on what 6010 does going forward here, it looks like that there's a good chance they may be able to pass 6009 as maybe the longest lasting final zone. We'll see. And I'm talking like high volume PvP longest lasting final zone. I think 6010, because of the matchups and the 3v3 they were able to get in the FZ, has the potential to be possibly the best final zone outcome out of the top two strongest KvK groups, where we could see 60-10 lasting more days. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to see TFS and their team, along with the other team, give us that 2.5 week, I mean, even if it's not up to that crescendo PvP that you often hear me talk about seeing between TFS and Noir, in that, and obviously there's other alliances there too as well, in that what was just a melancholic Season 2, Bellerin Season 2, Final Zone, just magnifico. Because, again, it lasted so long and there was so much consistent PvP that happened. Hopefully, maybe 60-10 can give us a little bit more of that. But it looks like it's 50-50 right now. No one's really pushing heavily on one end or the other. All right, let's go to 60-11. Here, we had ED, SV, KOD, Zoo, BNR, and KOV. That was popping off in the FZ. Now, from what we can see here, I believe what we talked about yesterday, we had Zoo, BNR, KOV, right? So they're on the south, other team is on the north. It doesn't really look like anyone's heavy pushing, right? We got the 2 bridge chokes. No one's pushing there from the south. And remember, those are the only ones too as well, right? And then we get over here to the middle side, or I should say the right two, and these kind of like, I guess, almost symmetrical-ish in a sense. But it looks like, oh wow, oh my God. I mean, there's so much PvP that's going on right now. It's freaking amazing. This is one of the things, man, I wish I could be live streaming, but yeah, I'm only giving you guys the small stuff here. So we got Soul. Looks like KOV may be able to push up a little bit. BNR over there too as well. And then it looks like maybe there's some pressure. Okay, it looked like maybe, but okay. So again, they're trying to do as much as they can. It looks like maybe they're making a little bit of ground up here. Ooh, hang on, is this flag getting destroyed? It is. So this KOV, but that's on the opposite side. Okay, so it looks like it's still a 50-50. That's great, man. Keep it going. 60-11. I'm rooting for you guys, man. That's awesome that they're still going at it, and they're kind of in a similar situation to 60-11 or 60-10. So yeah, man, keep that up. That's awesome to see. When we get to 60-12, this is Luno, HWG against IR, 25IW, 00, and 33. Let's see how things are going, because from what I remember yesterday is that I thought it was pretty much over, and like Luno had got pushed out, HWG out of the FZ, right? Yeah, HWG's up here. Let me see where Luno was. I have to double check this because I swear I thought we saw them. Yeah, see, they're over here. Okay, so they're right here. Lost control of that. 25, probably just doing some merit trading. Okay, yeah. So FZ is pretty much over with at this point. At least that's how it looks. Again, I'm sure there's probably some fighting that's happening in some of the other zones. If there is. Nope, so no action going on there. Looks like there might have been something over here between HWG and IR. Okay, yeah. So it looks like they got a little bit of fighting going on. But aside from that, the FZ is pretty much done at this point. All right. Let's go ahead and again, their passes opened. Again, it's been 2 days, 2 hours. I mean, we felt like this was kind of over yesterday. I'm curious for those playing in 60-12. Did it feel like maybe it lasted about a day and the PvP was pretty much over? I mean, it seemed like it was a pretty lopsided matchup on the 2v4, but we would have had to look at what the updated numbers were from at least the pool that we did on the 12th to maybe do some slight comparison a couple days prior to the FZ opening. Now let's look at 60-13. So this was MFD, DBB, SW8D, Laws, CMAR, and UHA. And let me see here what we have. Oops. Bum, bum, bum. All right. So as we continue, we have CMAR, looks like, so DBB 21, SW, and then wherever MFD is. Are they here in blue? They are. Okay. So it looks like it's kind of a 50-50 then. Oh, no, maybe they're pushing up here on this, huh? Right, because that's DBB. Oh, interesting. So, whoa, hang on. Whoa, hang on. Where am I looking? Is it? No, UHA is right there. CMAR, wherever Laws is. I don't know where Laws is. Okay. Nope, that's SW. And this is MFD's group. MFD, UHA. Oh, so Laws is here. Okay, I was going to say, yeah, they probably had to be getting pressured then at that point. Okay, yeah. So they're still fighting, but they're getting pressured, right? So I think it's East versus West on this one, right? So it's Laws, UHA, And then wherever Seymour was, I think here, yeah. And I don't know if this is them, but no, it's not. So they're probably, yeah. So it's like maybe some bridge fights. No one's there. So it looks like now they're going to fight maybe around here, if that's right. Okay, yeah. It looks like they're getting a bridge, a bridge built at the moment. So yeah, I mean, it looks like it's still 50-50-ish, but it looks like they are applying pressure on Lost, Seymour, and UHA from the MFD, DBB, and SW side. So yeah, it looks like maybe slight edge there, but for the most part, right, it's still going strong. And they've been going a little over 2 days right now. 60-14, let's move it on. Here we have OAH, BXS, NWE, Dawn, LTS, and AC. Remember, OAH was locked out of Zone 3 before. Let's see where things are at now on day 2. So it looks like AC territory removed. There's TBS, BXS, and then NWE over here. So it looks like they're probably pushing out Dawn, LTS, and AC, I would imagine. Right? Let me see what's going on. Are they pushing on this? Okay, so BXS is pushing on this. There's 8 minutes left. AC territory was removed too as well. And then we have Dawn up here. And it looks like they're getting attacked. Okay. So it looks like, depending on how much we're going to end up seeing out of them at the moment, it looks to me that we're having a little bit more advantage in favor of the MWE BXS OAH side. So it looks like advantage them. Maybe the final zone KvK is over with. We'll have to see what ends up happening, but it looks like they're pushing at the moment. 60-15. This is BBB, EIA, ANCS versus LAW, TG, and IW. So we have ANCS. It looks like, let's see here. Okay, it looks like they're probably getting pushed. Are they holding this or are they? Oh, yeah, this was them and they had came around, right? Because it was TG, LIS, I believe. Okay, and then whoever, and that's ANSI. Okay. So IW. So it looks like they're on that side, right? So it's IW, LAW, TG, right? So these guys, looks like MFD was there. And then we got BB and EIA. So it's them. Yeah. So it's kind of like this southwest versus northeast. So it doesn't look like they're getting pushed right there. But I imagine, okay, so they're not getting pushed through the choke either. Okay, wow. So they just have massive fighting that's still going on over here. Looks like some flags are trying to be removed and fights going on. Okay. But it looks like at the moment that BB, EIA, ANCS are getting pressured. And advantage currently 2 days in on the LAW, TG, and IW side. Okay, 60-16. Let's keep it pushing. Okay, here we go. 60-16. This is DYMBH. UDFX, ASC, and Kong is who they're facing. I believe they were getting pressured pretty decently from what I remember. If they were over here on the east side, yeah, MBH and... where were they? And DYH is over here, right? Okay. So it looks like they're right here. Doesn't look like there's any action happening at the moment. And looks like they're going for a disconnect here, possibly. Kong, MBH. So a little bit. But again, it looks like this is in favor of UDF, ASC, at Kong, and X currently. Looks like DYH, looks like they're also doing some fighting maybe over here at this bridge. Okay, so some additional fighting there that's happening as well, not only just limited to the FZ. Okay, but I mean, maybe you could say the FZ is pretty much over at that point in the 4v2. I mean, again, at least kingdom-wise, right, numbers kind of would, at least visually, territory-wise, it looks indicative of so, but we'll have to see how things look tomorrow. Next, we got 60-17. This is going to be KM, Noob, Rod versus IFAP, ERA, BPT. Here on the IFAP ERA BPT side, let me see. I think this was the south versus north, right? Let's double check this. So I have IFAP, ERA, and I think someone said BPT might not have made it. I thought someone mentioned that to me. But at the moment, at least when we look at the south side, right, it's 75A, which I think is there with Rod. And then there was Noob as well. So it looks like it's these guys here versus there, and then IFAP on the other side. But it doesn't look like they're pushing right now over there, right? Let me see here. Maybe that's just because, dude, is that too fab, too furious? That's funny. Let's see how things are going. So ERA destroying a noob flag right now. And then it looks like there's some action going on here between 75A and Rod. And let me see, are they getting pressured on any of the flags? Okay, so nothing really yet. It doesn't look like there's an overwhelming at the moment. Again, it doesn't look like 75RA and Rod are getting pushed from the FAP side. And it looks like FAP and ERA are applying some pressure though on New, probably trying to get to this AF. So I guess you could say maybe a slight advantage, but it still looks like it's going back and forth at the moment, even if it is essentially kind of a 2v3, give or take. Okay, let's get to 6018. We're going to now. 6018, this is going to be GPX Seal versus K211 and SHPZ from what we saw yesterday. We were still unsure what was going on with Gen and IME, but we can at least see this, right? So GPX Seal here, and then we had SHPZ and 211. So I have to imagine there might be some action. Okay, so still standoff. That's happening there. Doesn't look like anything's getting pushed on that front. And then if we go over here, okay, there we go. So we got the Alliance keep going down, another build, still action. So basically still 50-50 at this point. Let's go to 6019. Here, this was Chubb, Sura versus GD and K95 from what I was told. Wasn't sure on Elves, and remember BEK got locked out of Zone 3. So at the moment, we have Sura, and we should see Chubb somewhere in gray, and they should be going up. Oh, so look at this. So Elf's made it. So it looks like Elf might be on the 95 GD side. Let me update that so I can put them there. Let's make sure I got that right. So we will throw them there, and then that lets me remove that line. Fantastic. But again, looks like it's still 50-50 right now. Doesn't look like there's any indication. Still fighting that's going on right now. Looks like still defending on the one pass. Okay, oh, we got some pressure coming down on this one. Chubb holding off GD. And then what's happening here with Elves? Is there anything? Okay, so nothing really. Okay, so still pretty much 50-50 at the moment. Nice. 60-20. Let's move our way. Okay. So here we go. 60-20. Oh, very nice. Thank you, sweetie. So we have SN, AXT, O5DK, Block, SG97, and SPA. For this group, it looks like, for the most part, maybe it's Dunskies, right? Because it looks like they're pushing pretty heavily. So on this side, it was AXT. Looks like O5DK and them, yeah. So I imagine they're probably getting... Okay, so they're just doing some extra building right now on SG97. And then this is O5DK. So they're... Yeah, so yeah, they're applying some pressure. Okay. And then here, are they removing some territory? It looks like they are removing some territory. SBA's got about 30 minutes on that flag. Okay, so it looks like advantage right now is on the Block SG97 SPA side. Okay, but again, still fighting. Let's go to 6021. This was L2NV BD20 LPG versus DAU, PX, and AMZ. However, I was told that it pretty much is a 3v1 right now from between LN2V, BD20, LPG versus DAU currently. I guess it depends on if PX and AMZ are still there. That if they were still fighting and kind of giving their all. Someone said that they might have either been a little depleted or it might have just been a downtime that was happening. But let's take a look. So DAU's over here. That's one side. No one is really overwhelmingly pushing. Okay, but DAU's trying to get something going on. And then we have PX over here. Are they trying to get a disconnect on this? So it looks like still fighting. BD20. Okay, so PX a little bit, but again, that looks kind of advantageous-ish. AMZ, are they getting this flag removed? It looks like so. Okay, so it looks like advantage, even if it's slight, is in favor of the LN2V, BDO, and LPG group here. Okay, let's go to 6022. We got 3 left here. On this one, we had GF Riven 1-up versus Ice Goa ST. And let's see how things are going here. So we have Riven. This is Goa. 1-up. Okay, so they have to be... Oh, I thought they would be going at it. They have to be, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so 1-up is... Because, I was going to say, like, they're right next to them. Okay, so that's happening. So Goa looks like the 1v2 there. I don't think anything else is really happening with anyone else, right? So it looks like it's just a 1v2 between Goa, Riven, and 1UP. Probably should update that, right? So it's Goa versus Riven slash 1UP. There we go, just to make a slight adjustment there on the FZ. All right. Again, it looks like maybe advantage them, but they're still kind of in the middle. So we'll see what ends up happening tomorrow. 60-23. This is the second to last group. This is ASG VHLOC versus IBO Ham HTF. Remember, we mentioned ASG did not try to go out of zone 1 before when we talked about that yesterday. So it's pretty much VHLOC versus IBO Ham HTF. So we got Ham, probably one of the other ones. We got Ham V. Oh, wow. So Ham VH. Okay, so they're going at it, it looks like, probably. Yeah. So they're still going at it here. You can see VH, Ham. Okay, and then are they going at it too? Maybe. So maybe it's VH versus those two, and then it's LOC versus these guys over here at the two bridges. So I guess kind of still 50-50 right now. It doesn't really seem like there's a clear decider. Last group, 60-24. This is SNIC, SIP, 262 versus Go, SHWA, and GRZ. So I think they're still getting pushed from what we looked at last time, right? So it's GRZ over here. Looks like PNG, SHWA. I have to imagine that there's some action or maybe something happening here, right? Because on this side, it was, it's KERS, SIP, and 262. So they're together. So yeah, so at least at this point, it looks like they're probably pressuring here. Okay, so in one of the chokes, looks like a build maybe is going down. Okay, so they're building over there. Doesn't look like any pressure over there that's being applied. So it looks like the GRZ SHW side, Go side, and remember, Go was locked out of zone 3, right? So it's really GRZ and SHWA, which is here. But PNG is getting attacked too. So is PNG just maybe that's their second alliance? Maybe that's SHWA's second alliance, or maybe that's Go. So it looks like maybe it is still kind of a 3v3 in a sense, right? Because 262, SIP, and then KERS is there fighting, because they're not fighting each other right now, right? This looks like it's just, standard build. So it looks like pressure getting placed on the GRZ, SHW, and PNG side. They're not kicked out, obviously, yet. Kind of still around the middle of the map, but advantage on the others. And that's going to wrap us up. Thought we actually did this pretty quick. Look at that, 22 minutes. We're killing it here. Would love to know if there's any other updates that you'd like for me to add for when we do a day 3 recap. Are there any KVKs that you're still excited that are at least lasting 2+ days? I mean, this is kind of historical over the past couple KVK cycles and seasons where KVKs have pretty much finished within the some of them first 4 hours, some of them 12 to 24 hours on average. So the fact that a lot of them are still going 2 days plus, I think this is monumental. It's not to say that I think it's in the perfect state that it can be, but it's a lot better than what we've been getting the last number of seasons. So I think the game is trending in a healthier way when we're talking about longer lasting sustained PvP throughout the KVK, and more importantly, in the FZ. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, until next time, we will catch you later.